Hi everyone, if you're watching this video, that's because you're wanting to learn how to use PINPOINT. So, having just done your half-term tests, you're now at the point where you have had your analysis back, your RAG analysis, you've got that in your exercise book in class, you've seen your test, you've seen where you've gone right or wrong, and now is the point where all those topics where you got questions wrong or they didn't go so well, now we're going to try and correct some of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to log on to PINPOINT. So that's the 3 W's followed by pinpointlearning.co.uk. You can see the spelling on the screen there. We want student login, that's you guys. So your student login will be made up of 2 letters, which usually have something to do with your initials, followed by a 6-digit number. And then everyone's password is the same. It's capitals PPL, standing for Pinpoint Learning. So your teacher will have given you your login, or Miss Caldwell very kindly emailed the whole school all their login details about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So look in your inboxes for an email off Miss Caldwell. Alrighty, so we're on the home screen, so you can see there's not much there to see. The website is quite easy to use and there's not really that much on there that we'd like you to do. So once you've logged in, it'll say hi and then it'll have your name. I've just called myself Joe Test for now. Underneath there, it will say enter your paper marks here. We're not going to do that because your teacher has already done that for you. So we can skip that bit, that saves you a job. What you need to do is just go to the middle of the screen there where you've got a drop down menu. Please choose a past paper. So select the drop down menu. There'll be the one paper that you've just done as your half-term test. Select that. And then once it's loaded, that's what you'll see on your screen. All right. So we have a grid here, which is just a grid explaining the different strands of the paper and what you got right and wrong. So how many marks you got for each strand of the maths. So we've got number. This person achieved 5 marks from available 9. Algebra, they've got 2 correct from an available 5 marks, and so on. So you've got your number, your algebra, your data, your shape and your proportion. So they're the 5 main areas of maths broken down. And then along the sides here, it's got an A01. That's referring to the quick, easy mark questions. So a quick calculation or a quick write down a fact. The A02 and the A03 strands are the more difficult questions. So the problem solving questions or questions where you have to explain your answer or multi-step questions. So you may find that your marks on those are slightly lower. Alrighty, so then it tells you what your total mark was for the paper. What we're interested in is the next tab down, which says your personalised question booklet PDF. So that is what you are going to work through to address the 5 main areas of weakness. Okay, so what your teacher's done is they've put your results into this system, and the system has then looked and analysed your results, and it has selected your top 5 worst topics from that test. Alrighty, so on there for this person, their 5 worst topics answered were solving simple equations, division and adding fractions, fractions of percentages, fractions of an amount, and properties of 3D shapes. So you can see that that is in a little menu of its own that says your PINPOINT topics and video lessons. So obviously these are your worst 5 topics and you're going to need a little bit of help on them. So one way to get a little bit of help would be to click on the video lesson, and that will take you to a link for a YouTube video on a specific topic that will then help you just go over how to do those questions. All right. Probably is a good idea if you watch the video first rather than just attempting the question, because of course we've just tried that on a test and that didn't work out well for us, which is why we're here doing this now. So maybe look at the video first, and then what I would do then is if we click on your personalised question booklet, that will then download as a PDF. So once it's downloaded, I'm going to click on it now so you can see what it looks like. So there's your little booklet. Now it is a PDF, it's not an online facility. So if you've not got a printer, my suggestion is just to have it on screen, get a bit of paper, a little workbook, and you could work through the questions on paper, just writing down your answers and you're working out. Or of course, if you've got a printer, you could print out your booklet and work through it on there. All right, so on the front of your booklet, you've got all your details there. You've got your 5 topics that you'd be looking at. If the videos from the previous screen were not helpful, then there are also references to MathsWatch clips, as you can see on the front there. So please use your MathsWatch account to find those clips, as you may find those videos a little bit more helpful, because that's more what you're used to. We don't do Hegarty, so you can just ignore those for now. Okay, so what the booklet then is, it contains for each of the 5 areas of maths, graduated questions on each of those 5 topics. So you'll notice it's got the topic, it says easier, medium, and then harder, right? So really, if you've mastered that topic now that you've been looking at and kind of going over again, you should be moving towards the medium and the harder questions. And like I've said, there's the next section. It's fractions, easier, medium, and then harder. So they've been broken down to make them gradually more difficult as you master them. All right. So the idea is that you work through those booklets, watching the videos as you go along, just to make sure you know what you're doing if you're getting stuck. All righty. Then your teacher should have set it up so that you can just click on the solutions. If they haven't on your home screen, you won't be able to click here, but instead you will have to put a password in. Now, if your teacher hasn't set it so that you can have access to the solutions, then just go and ask them for a password, pop the password in there and press submit. Right, I've granted access to the solutions just so you can see what they look like. So by clicking on that tab there, you can see the answers to the questions that were on your booklet. Okay, so if I just go back to the home screen, so I'm just going to click on home. So there's our home screen. So what I did before was I clicked on please choose a past paper. And then that was the paper that you've just done for your half-term test, and that was the menu that I was looking at. That's all really you need to concern yourself with. If you want to have a mess around with the website, there's 2 other things on there. You've got your maths matrix. So this is just another way of looking at your rag sheet. So you have got your rag sheet in the in your exercise book in class. This is just another version of it. So it's got all the topics from the test. It's got whether it's red, so you didn't really get very many marks, say 1 or 0 marks, amber, couple of marks, or green, full marks for that particular topic. So there's the rag sheet. It's got some more free questions videos on every topic if you needed them. And then on the other, and it's got the MathsWatch clips there as well. We'll go back to the home screen. The other thing was your virtual exam folder. So if you wanted to click on that, this will just build up as you go along and answer more exam questions. So this is just a bank of all the questions that you've done all together. So clearly we've only done 1 test at the moment, so there's not that much there. So they're all the topics that was on the test that you've just completed. We have got a list of MathsWatch videos. Remember, we don't do Hegarty, so just ignore them. MathsWatch videos, what type of strand it was in and how many marks, the maximum mark for the question, what your mark was, and what the average mark for the class was. Okay, so that's just a little bit of interest. for you to keep an eye on as you go along. You can select my best performing topics if you wish, my relative weak topics, and then the test paper question order. So if you want to just remember in what order the questions appeared, that might help you realise whether they were supposed to be simpler questions on those topics or more difficult. Because sometimes if you can see it in context, then you'll understand the level of difficulty. Alrighty. But once again, all you need to do is once you've logged in, choose your past paper, and then all we're asking you to do at home is click on your personalised PDF booklet, work through your videos, work through your questions, hopefully get a little bit better at those questions, check your answers, and if you are stuck on anything at all or you're still unsure about what you're doing, then please either just bring your booklet into class, take a screenshot, or ask your teacher for help. Okay? Any other questions, then please let us know.